Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alexey, and today I have a special guest, Mike Trubetskov. Mike Trubetskov is the creator of Dr. Mike Metal YouTube channel, where he shares his knowledge on metal production. Also, Mike has released his brand new synth metal production course at Kohle Audio Kult. And also Mike has released his brand new guitar metal tone pack at Oracle Sound. And of course, you can check out his metal mixes and masters on his official website. All links will be in the info box of this video. It's a huge honor to have you on my YouTube channel today, Mike. And let's start our interview. And my first question is how you became a sound engineer.
It's blurred. There was no specific moment when I became one, because I played music since I was 5. I played piano in Russian music school, as you know. So I played piano, and then over time sort of started making electronic music, wanted to play guitar. So my parents bought me a guitar, and obviously that involved having audio interface and working with MIDI and studying Cubase in order to put some electronic instruments together and guitar. That was when I was in my teens, so teenager. And that's probably the moment when I sort of started to get into kind of producing engineering, basic skills. But the actual moment when this happened was, I guess, when I joined a band called Gift of Madness in Moscow. And we recorded an album at a studio called, I think it's called Cosmos Studio. And the engineer producer is Arkady Navajo. I think he's still in the business. He's an amazing engineer. And when I entered that studio, I realized that I want to do it. I didn't know if I could, but I felt like I'm in my, in the right place when I was recording guitars and, sort of offering some ideas like reverse risers, guitars and stuff like that. So I think that was the turning point. Then I moved to firstly America for a bit and then Australia. And when I moved here, obviously my band was in Moscow and there was nowhere to play with. I basically decided, why don't I give audio production a try? So I bought my my first pair of monitors. That was Focal Solo, Focal CMS 50 or something. Small speakers. And I had my XFX2 as my audio interface. That's all I got, a laptop. And I was literally mixing, doing tutorials and started offering some basic mixing for my friends for free. And that was the first moment when I started doing this professionally, about 11 years ago.
My next question is how you got into mixing and producing metal.
Yep. So I haven't really done anything else apart from heavy music. I mean, I have worked on rock and a little bit of electronic, but actually, my focus was always heavy music. I played metal when I was young. I started offering services in heavy niche. So basically, that was the natural progression from my passion, heavy music, into offering this as a service. There was nothing else that I've done, and I don't do anything else right now either. I mean, I do some film scoring, but it is also kind of metal as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's nothing else.
How you created your YouTube channel and why you decided to run your YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's a good one. And I can't even remember when that happened. Probably I started it in 2016 or 2018, ages ago, much younger in my career. The goal was simple. I needed more clients. I'm going to put it honestly up front. I needed more clients. I decided that this could be a good way to put myself forward so that more people know about me. Over time, and I got to say that my YouTube channel properly became a proper one and hit 1,000 subscribers. So became monetized, I believe, only after 7 years since the start. It was very slow progress. I didn't do much of it at the start, had a break, and it was a grind. To reach 1,000 subscribers was very hard, and that was because the content that I was putting in wasn't the best. So over time, this transformed from trying to sell myself to actually thinking about what I can provide in terms of value to potential customers, so just musicians alike in heavy niche, what can I give from my experience that is valuable to them? And that transformed everything. Once that happened, my channel started to properly grow.
Where are you taking your knowledge from for making your YouTube videos?
Yep. I honestly try to come up with ideas and provide value just based on my experience. So based on what I'm doing in the studio, which new things I'm experimenting with while mixing or recording, or say one of the highlights was the new idea that I had. And that came from my friends. My friends visited me and showed me, hey, can you see this guy? He's making this kind of guitar tone. And I'm just very analytical, and I'm trying to understand how can they get that tone. And then once I just basically experiment and try to find an approach or solution to this, once I understand that this works, I just share it. So this basically comes from trial and error and everyday processes in the studio, and then just following what is relevant in the modern music, what people like, what people want to achieve and struggle, and providing solutions to that.
How your metal synth production course was created for Kohle Audio Kult.
Right, that's an interesting one as well. Christian approached me about maybe 1.5 years ago on Facebook. We were friends for a bit, and we didn't really talk. But what happened was, about 2 years ago, I started putting up videos on my YouTube channel regarding synths in heavy music. And that was just, I do synths, I like synths, I'm a piano player. I put it on YouTube and people seemed to like it. That's what happened, literally. I didn't have any idea about anything else and I didn't have any plan. But over time, I realized, well, this seems to be good for me because I'm proficient in this and I can give perspective on just my natural understanding of the synths in metal. So Christian approached me based on that video and told me, hey, I think that this is missing from the current market, and why don't we make this a course? And I said, awesome, let's do it. And the challenge with the course was that you can't use any material that is commercially available. You have to find music that is recorded non-commercially. And the only way for me to do that was basically record it myself. But luckily, I've had some covers done. So I was practicing modern metal guitar in low tunings, learning it myself because I'm an old school guitarist, and this is an expansion of my technique. So I was just doing this as a practice and putting these covers out because, well, this is cool and I like music and people relate to that. And so what I did, I took these covers, like unfinished projects, and scored them with synths, right? So I put together some cool lines. I tried to match the songs as they were, like Spirit Box or Currents, or I tried to come up with something else as well. And that is how the course was constructed. And then I just created content, short videos and explanations.
My next question is why people should buy your metal synth production course at Kohle Audio Kult, and what they can learn from your course.
Right. I think that this course, good selling point is that it is unique. And I don't think that there is anything similar out there in terms of detail and depth for synthesizers in heavy music. That's one thing. And second thing, what is important is, I think, modern music, modern metal, metalcore, deathcore, whatever it is heavily based around synths. And since no one is talking about that element much, or to my knowledge at least, I think that this is a valuable addition to people who want to produce modern sounding music. So that's an advantage. Another advantage is that I really took the time and care to go into broad details about most of the things that people want to achieve in modern metal. Things like guitars, so synths that follow guitars, pads, atmosphere, ambience, pulses and rhythms, risers, transitions, subdrops, and synthesis itself. So for that part, I took the time and studied some of it myself because I'm not a big professional in synthesis, but I had to learn it in order to show people how it is done. And from the reviews that we've had, people actually enjoy it and find it valuable as well. So I think that this is why people may want to buy my course.
How your metal guitar tone pack for Oracle Sound was created.
Yep. That's another interesting one, interesting story. It is similar to my YouTube and synth thing. So modern metal is based on guitars and is constructed by guitarists. The videos that get views for me are synths, but I feel like I've done quite a lot about that. And guitar tones, because I think that this is the most searchable topic on YouTube, metal guitar tone. So what I decided to do was share some of the models of my amps. And I did that in the past as well. I started constructing neural amp models myself, just training it based on the amps that I have in the studio. And the results surprised me because they were really good. Some of the models, though, didn't really work for me when I tried using multiple overdrives pedals in front of the amps. And for this, I was approached by Jay from Oracle Sound, and that was just a coincidence. I was doing my models, and he suggested that he has learned the better process for training NAMM. And it was a blessing because that part was taken out of me from the process. And all I had to do is discover the good tones applicable for various genres of metal, be it death metal, old school metal, classical metal, or modern metal in drop tunings. For this, I took multi-tracks for some covers online, and I just reamped them through each of my amps until I found good settings. Then I supplied those models, so those reamps, to Jay, and he trained neural amp for this. And the pack came out. So that's how this happened.
How to use your guitar tone pack from Oracle Sound to achieve great metal guitar sound in metal mixes.
Cool. I would say that there are different ways. I can share how I use this pack and similar packs of mine. And there are two ways. So first is you can use the raw amp model and you can apply cabinet impulse response, equalization, compression, just your standard processing chain. But instead of using a plugin for your guitar tone amp, you just use my model. If you are using the raw model, unprocessed, that gives a lot of flexibility. And you can construct great tones from scratch this way. But another way is you can grab the processed model and you don't need to apply anything to it. It should sound good right out of the box. And my suggestion is I would blend it with the tone that you are using currently, and I would complement it with that tone. Meaning, if you have a bright model that lacks body for your amp sim or for your amp, you can blend it with my model, which is opposite of it, which sounds heavier, chunkier, bigger, and not as bright, and merge them together. And therefore, you can achieve fuller sound. So if you analyze your tone and see what is missing, and if you go and search that, what is missing in my pack, you can achieve something good with it. One important consideration and note here, though, is that you have to phase align the amp and my model. And sometimes that can be a little bit tricky. But otherwise, that's how I would recommend using that in the mix.
How learning from Nail the Mix helps you in your metal production?
I can say that it helps me very much, a lot, in different ways. And right now, I don't have time to do full Nail the Mixes that often. But what I'm doing now is I watch Nail the Mixes for specific things. Like I want a better kick sound, or not even better, I want a specific kick sound, more distorted and more controlled. So I go on Nail the Mix and watch how Buster Oderholm does that. Or I want to achieve that more modern character to the mix itself. So I watch Lance Prank's Nail the Mix, Polaris, and I see his approach. Basically, Nail the Mix right now helps me to stay relevant and to use the techniques that people use to achieve certain sounds, but not just copy them, but implement them in my workflow and improve it, like EQing in distortion. I learned it from Buster, and I now do it quite often. But I'm not stealing his chain and his settings because I try to use my own approach to it. I got to say that in 2022, I was in URM Enhanced, and I took a lot of one-on-ones with Joe Scaletta, and he helped me to improve my mixes a lot. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity because it showed me my weak spots and what I can do to make this better. And my clients have noticed that. So in short, I use Nail the Mix to calibrate my ears, always improve my work, and stay relevant in the field that is always expanding and everyone is so competitive. And I know that I have to invest into my craft. If I don't stay relevant. That's very important, I think.
And my final question is, what did you learn from Nail the Mix that changed your mixing, mastering, and metal production approach?
Okay. So I have learned a few things. I'll try to list them as I go. First one is phase alignment of drum samples from Buster. Second one is EQing guitars properly and getting rid of 4K. Third one was stacking clippers and using in and out bus by Lance Frank. And fourth one, I think, was using drum shot samples and using the SSL EQ on the kick and snare. I can't remember exactly which Nail the Mix that was, but yeah, I think that this would be, there was a fifth one, using phase inverted EQ for your reverbs. That is from Buster as well. So these are the main things that I learned that helped me a lot and have improved my technique a lot.
Thank you so much, Mike, for such a wonderful interview and for such a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much for creating your YouTube channel because I'm learning much from watching your videos. And your videos are helping me a lot to improve my mix and metal skills, And also thank you so much for creating your guitar tone pack for Oracle sound because it sounds amazing. And now I'm going to be using your Oracle sound metal pack in my metal mixes and Nail the Mix, from now on because
That's really cool.
Because it sounds super great, And unfortunately, I don't have access to Kohle Audio Kult right now due to sanctions against Russia. But I'm sure that your synth metal production course is awesome because Christian Kohle works only with the best sound engineers and sound producers, and he makes no mistakes about inviting the best people to create best courses for his Kohle Audio Kult Academy. And again, thank you so much for your contribution to metal community by creating such a wonderful synth metal production course and for your YouTube channel and for your guitar tone pack. And I wish you all the success in this work. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you so much. Hey, such a pleasure. Thank you for your kind words. Really awesome to hang out with you and share hopefully valuable information. I appreciate it so much.